Hi, so in this tutorial I'm going to very briefly recap what we covered in the first part, and then I'm going to show you how to import the Collada Pirate ship model into C4, and then how to register the model with the editor using just 2 lines of code. So, I start up Blender here. Let's create a new file. I use the A key to select all, deselect all, select all, X key to delete, left click to confirm, then File, Import, and here I'm importing the 3ds model which we downloaded from the web. Import. I use the scroll key to zoom out, and I could rotate this now within Blender before exporting, but let's just leave it like this, and we'll do the rotation within the world editor in C4. So I'll simply say File, Export, Collada. I put the file into my import folder within C4. I'm putting it into import tutorial. I have a directory there called models and a subdirectory called pirate ship. So let's call this pirate ship.bae and export, because previously we had a file there called ship, but just to show this is a new file we're creating called pirate ship. So I will then save that file as pirate ship. Save it and quit Blender. So now within C4 we should see within our import folder, models, pirate ship, we now have a Collada file called pirateship.bae. We also have the texture file which we created in the first part of the tutorial. Remember, we downloaded a JPEG image, but C4 imports TGA textures, and I converted from JPEG to TGA using a program called Paint.net, which is free. And importantly, we saved this as well with dimensions, which were powers of 2. So let's start up C4 and import the Collada file. Left click there, press escape, and then new world, and then we say world, import scene, and then I select the Collada file that I want to import. I'm deselecting everything here, and I'll scale to a factor of 0.5. And I use the scroll wheel now to zoom out, and we can see that it is so in the top viewport you would expect to be looking down on the ship, but we're not. We're looking at it from the back. So I'm using the scroll wheel there to pan, so clicking it and holding the scroll wheel to pan around, and then you can scroll the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. Perspective similarly, and zooming out with the scroll key, right clicking then to move around. So what we can do here is we can we have this dummy node which was exported. We don't need that, so let's just delete that. And we simply have the geometries then. I'm scrolling here and holding scroll wheel to pan. So these are the various geometries within the model. And what I'll do is I will add, because I want to rotate all the geometries, and what happens is if I select all nodes like this using the box select tool, and if I try to rotate, it will actually only rotate the last geometry which is selected here, but I want to rotate all geometry. So what I can do is I can add a dummy geometry. Let's put one here at the bottom. So I've selected box geometry. Down here at the bottom. That's fine. And what I will do is I will make that geometry invisible. So node get info render is invisible, and turn off shadows. And this into shadow I say no, and I will also make sure that there's no collision detection for this geometry. It's really just a dummy geometry, so I'll just deselect all of these items here in the collision tab. So it's really just a dummy geometry which I will make as parent of the other geometry. So I can select the others again using the box select tool, left click to select, and then using the move tool I can move these geometries as I make them children of the box geometry. And that way I can select the box geometry, and then simply by rotating it, I rotate the whole ship. So I'll open up the transform page under the pages menu, and I will rotate the ship such that we are looking down on it. So I'm scrolling out here, there was an X rotation of 90. And also it's a good idea to have your models face along the X axis, whereas in this case it's facing along the Y axis. So what I will do to get that is I will, that's the rotation needed to make it such that in the top view I'm looking down on the model and the model is facing along the X-axis. So again, we could have done these rotations within Blender and exported it such that when it comes into C4 it's already set up like this. But the idea here is we're not learning Blender, we're learning C4. So I can now save that as a model resource, save to model resource like this. And so before I do so, actually there's one more thing I'd like to do. I'd like to right click in the perspective viewport, use the WASD keys to move around. And I noticed actually previously that the sails weren't very smooth, so what we can do is we can select them. So I'm selecting one by left clicking on a sail, and then shift select to select the others. Shift and then left click to select the other sails. So now they're all selected, and then I can use geometry, recalculate normals to smooth the normals on those sails. Right, now let's export that or save it as a C4 model resource. Because we previously deleted all the MDL files in that folder, there are none here, so we're going to call it pirate ship. And press save. Okay, so we're done with this world. Close it. I won't save it. It was only used to create the MDL resource. And now what I intend to do is open up the island world, which is in Demo World Island. And what I'll do here now is click on the 4 viewports, and I actually have some, I'm going to press Control 3 to zoom into the scene graph viewport. I'm using the box select tool. I had some models in here for a previous test. I'll delete those before we start. I'm zooming out now here with the scroll wheel and panning by holding the scroll wheel and dragging. Control 3 then shows me the 4 viewports again: top, front, scene graph and perspective. And so in part 2 we loaded the model this way, and that's not a great idea. That was purely just to show you that you can do that, but the correct way to get a model into your game world is to register it with code, and then it becomes available through the so-called models page. So scroll down here to the models page, and the demo game comes with a set of models which are already registered with the editor, but our pirate ship is not part of these. So what we'll do is we'll go to we'll leave C4 and register it in code, and then come back in and see that it's in the models page. So it's quite simple. Open up Visual Studio C4 and open up the solution. We did something similar for the Boxer model in a previous tutorial. It's in the game solution. The game project, sorry, under the general folder you need to open mggame.h and mggame.cpp, and in here you can Control F to search for model reg. Scroll down here, we just copy and paste the line we had for the Boxer. I have it here actually, ready to go, so I'll just copy and paste this line here. Put it underneath the Boxer model reg. So it's very similar. It's ship model reg. Then you've got a 4-character model key that the world is used to uniquely identify the model. Then you've got the text which appears in the model's page within the editor, and then you have some a path to the model. Let's call this here pirate ship. That's what we call our model, and we don't have a default controller for the model at this point. Again, we can use the get node info dialog, the controllers tab there, to set a controller for the ship, and we'll do that. So within mggame.h, similarly, we look for model reg, and I'll scroll down to this line, and I'll just copy and paste the line in from here. Control C. So it's similar to the Boxer model reg which we had in the previous tutorial, ship model reg. And then we simply press F7 to compile. And again, a lot of these files are dependent on mggame.h, and therefore when you change mggame.h, they also need to be recompiled. And then we're ready to go. It's successful, no errors. I can use debug start debugging, or just F5, F5, left click, escape, and then open world. Let's open the island world again. And so what we're going to do to save, let's call it pirate ships. Save. And then Control 3 brings me to the scene graph. Again, I'll just delete these models which I was playing with earlier on. They're not relevant for this tutorial. Scroll out, use the scroll wheel, pan, Control 3 to show for viewport again. So now let's scroll down to the models page, and we should find our pirate ship. There we go, there's the pirate ship model. So I'm going to press Control 4 to expand the perspective viewport, right click to move around, and then WASD to move, fly over the island, and I simply have to left click here to place the model. There we go. So I can place multiple models, of course. You just need to left click anywhere in the scene. And you'll notice that it's randomly rotating them as I place them in the scene. And that's because there's a so-called placement page up here which says randomized rotation. And aligned to tangent plane is useful here because you want it to be tangent to the water when you place it. Okay, so yeah, let's see what that looks like. I'll press actually, let me just double check that the spawn point here is on the other side of the island. So let's use the find page to find the spawn point. So here I'll just bring up the find page, and the type of node is a marker node, and I'll press Control 3 here, Control 4 to show me all ports, viewports, Control 3 to show me the scene graph. So it's quite a big scene graph, lots of trees and geometry and water and terrain. So it's very hard here to find something just by scrolling through. So you can use the find page to quickly locate what you're looking for. I'll press Control 3 again to show four viewports and zoom out here, and let's just see if we can find I'll press Next, and the first node it finds is the spectator marker. We're looking for the spawn marker. Next, there we go. It's in the middle of the scene graph there. So what I want to do is I want to place that where the ship is, and the way I do that is, well, a couple of ways I could do this. I happen to know that okay, I can right click here and expect to fly over to where I want to have the spawn point, which is about here. Down here, and I can, for example, click on something here, and it tells me in the transform page the coordinates. So it's about 300, 128, 37. So I can simply set the coordinates to be something similar and then move it. So 300, 128, let's say 50. So it can be slightly go down. There it is now. You see it, and then I can use the zooming out here, and the top viewports will be the best. Zooming again, and then use the move tool. I can move the right click here. I can move it such that it's just over the sand when we spawn. That's fine. Maybe just a little bit more back here. Zoom out. So here the player will spawn just on the sand. So let's try that now. World, save and play world, and see. There we go. We've got some ships. So that's it. Let's press escape and then Control Shift P. We can just move those ships down slightly. Let's scroll out here. I'm just going to scroll way out and come down to our model ships, which are at the bottom. I'm going to close all of these groups of geometries, click all of the prior ships, and then use the move tool to move them all down very slightly. Right click here to see what's happening as I do so. And just move them down as the water slightly. There we go. Let's check if that works by right clicking here and flying with the W key. Yeah, they're slightly in the water. That should be fine. So let's try that. Save and play world. Yeah, they're nicely in the water. Nice. Okay, so the next time what we'll do is we will show you how to add controllers to the ships so that they move around the island and also that they fire at the player. Okay, thanks.